What is going on, you guys? It is Unsweetened Tea here, back again with another video, and today it is the updated Nintendo Switch collection for the end of summer 2018. Let's get into it. So I've added just a couple games into the game collection since the last video. I've actually got an Xbox One now, so I've kind of diverted some attention to that since it's a brand new system and totally next gen. But I still love my Switch, and I got some really good AAA heavy hitter titles to show you guys, plus some updated opinions on some older games as well. So let's get right into it. The first one to the list is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I actually probably only spent like 10 or 15 hours into this game because I had so many other games at the time. I always bounce around between games, and it's really hard to do that with RPGs, and this is no exception. So when I played this game, I'm just going to start over again, but it's a really good story. I love the graphical style. It does not look very good portably, but docked it looks amazing, and it's a very fun game, really unique and interesting combat system, and it's just JRPG produced by Nintendo exclusively for the Nintendo Switch. Really good game. The DLC just came out recently, and once I get into this game, it might be a thing to check out. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. This was a game that I really did not think that I was going to buy or get into, but when I downloaded the demo on the Switch eShop and on the 3DS eShop, and I was marveled that it was able to run on the 3DS, and I really like the Switch version. I played through that. Mrs. T really enjoyed this game. She got a lot farther than I did, and I just finished the main part of the quest. But this was a really good, interesting game. The gyro controls worked almost flawlessly. I really enjoyed this game a lot. Really good pickup, and it was cheap too. It was like 40 bucks. And if you wait toward holiday season, this is going to be a cheap game to get, and it's a really fun one for people of all ages, really. This was a rumored release for so long, and we finally got it, and that is the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy on Nintendo Switch, now on Xbox One, Steam, and PS4 as well. But the Nintendo Switch version looks pretty dang good. It looks almost identical to the newer versions, minus some texture. But it's a really good game, really challenging, but it really throws you back to the 90s when Crash Bandicoot was Sony's mascot, and it looked like it was going to be that way. And then it switched to Jack, and then it switched to Sly Cooper, and then it was Nathan Drake, and Sony really has a lot of mascot issues. Oh, Sackboy, remember that? Really crazy to see this on Nintendo and Xbox after it was a Sony exclusive for so long. Donkey Kong Tropical Country Freeze is a very beautiful looking game, really good throwback, and these games are on par with the original Donkey Kong Countries, if not better. These are amazing. The co-op is great. I love all the different characters incorporated into this game. And like I said, graphically, it looks like a Pixar movie at certain points, especially the cutscenes. It's a fantastic game. Very challenging, though, in the same vein as Crash Bandicoot. But if you're really into retro-style platformers and side-scrolling platformers, this is the game to pick up. Really good. Skyrim. This is, if you know anything about me, haven't really talked too much about it on the channel, but this game has just risen to the ranks as one of, if not my favorite game of all time at this point. It's very hard for me to describe this game in detail. I have a whole thing planned for an Elder Scrolls like retrospective, but this game is just so much fun, and this was the version that really solidified for me that Skyrim is one of the best games of all time. And that was solely due to the fact that at that time, I was able to take it with me portably anywhere, right? The only reason I can't play it all the time on my Xbox One is because it's at the house, but this version I can take anywhere without any compromise, basically. It looks beautiful on the screen, looks way better handheld, but it looks very beautiful docked. Very good game, highly recommend it. It's starting to go down in price a little bit, but you can get this game for like $3 in the 360, so if you really want to play it, you can do that. But this game, what a great game. Super Mario Odyssey. Every time a Mario game comes out, it's almost one of the best Mario games ever. Again, no exception to the rule. I love this game. I'm right at the halfway mark. I have just a little bit over 500 moons. Did not get to that 999, but I'm working at it. Just so many other games in the backlog. but I haven't Googled anything for this game. I went in and I tried to do it as best I could as a pretty loyal Mario fan here. So this was such a great game. Cappy, I was so wary of that character at first. I just did not think it was going to work. But see, look, I'm getting worked up talking about it. I loved it. Such a good game. It's such a cute game. The graphics are amazing, and I love where Nintendo is taking the 3D Mario franchise. This is like Mario 64 on crack. This is awesome. I love this game. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, a game that at the time I got right alongside Skyrim, and I just got so sucked into that game. I only spent about 25 hours into this game and I hadn't put in any more. But this is another game where I intend to just wipe it clean and start a new file, and when I can really spend a good like 80 hours to really fully get into the game and see what it has to offer. Mrs. T has put in like, an obnoxious amount of time in this game, and I was totally shocked, but she absolutely loves this game, and I can see why. You know, awesome game, really big departure for the Zelda franchise too, but you know what, sometimes you need that breath of fresh air, and Nintendo really knocked it out of the park. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Again, every time a Mario Kart game comes out, it is the best Mario Kart game ever made. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is amazing. The fact that this runs 60 frames a second as beautifully as it does portably and at 1080p docked, this is such a good game. It includes all the DLC plus that revamped battle mode that everybody hated from the original release, but this is such a good game. The online is awesome, and it works very well with your friends, and it sucks that Nintendo's charging for their online service, which is not coming out so well. We might have to make a video talking about that. But for now, I can still play this online for free. Such a great game. Really, can I beat a dead horse? What am I going to say about this game? Best Mario Kart ever. And Bowser Jr. has top-toed as my favorite Mario Kart character ever. Overcooked, the most stressful co-op game I've ever played. You know, I played all the Gears of War on Legendary. Legendary, that's Halo. I played all those on Insane with my buddies back in the day. Played all the Halos together on the hardest difficulty, and nothing compares to the stress of Overcooked. It is just like having too many cooks in the kitchen that don't know what they're doing, and it brought back a lot of PTSD memories of working in kitchens and in fast food restaurants. Done that for, you know, a better part of my life. So this game really brought back those memories, and it was a lot of fun with Mrs. T. We really had a lot of fun with this game. And Overcooked 2 is coming out for all the systems with online play. Day inside release with Switch version along with PS4 and Xbox One. Splatoon 2, another game I didn't think I was going to get into as much as I did. Splatoon 2 was a game that I really didn't expect to get into. I got my Switch for Christmas, and then about a month later I picked up Splatoon with a couple other games. And I love the art style, like I've said before. I've come to really enjoy how the menu system works in that game, and how the menu is almost just like a level. You just walk around and do things and interact with it instead of going through a list of options for the most part, and it's really cool. I like the battles where you can pick a side, per se, like you can pick like a movie or something, and whichever one you pick, you're put together on a team with other people to pick the same option, and at the end of that battle, you tallies it up and you can see who won, and it's a really fun competitive game. I prefer the social playlist versus the ranked playlist, though. I will say that. Axiom Verge, a Metroidvania-style game that is on all the systems, but again, feels really at home on the Switch because it is a Nintendo system, taking liberties from things that really put Nintendo on the map, Metroid and Castlevania, with the NES and the Super Nintendo. And this game is a really good reimagining of that kind of formula, a lot of backtracking, a lot of exploration in this game. What you have to do is get the Multiverse Edition right here so you can get the map, so you can know where you're going, or at least look it up online, because it's one of those games where it's like you need the Nintendo power for it, right? It's a harder game. But we got the Multiverse Edition with the Blu-ray and the soundtrack, the map, and an art book, and all that cool stuff, and it goes to some kind of disability research, I believe, and it was only $40. It was a really good special edition, so I think you can still pick that up new. Doom. This game is awesome. I got so sidetracked I never got to finish it. I'm on like the last couple levels, but now I have it on Xbox One, so now I gotta play through it again. But my first introduction was on the Switch, and I never at one point felt downgraded with the 30 frames per second and lower resolution textures. Sure, it doesn't look as good, but it plays just as fine, and that really is the most important aspect of the game. You're incredibly nimble, you move super fast, and there's a huge variety of weapons. It's so gory, so much fun. Really, really good game. Really put Doom back on the map, and like I said before, it's a lot like the original Doom from back in the day on the Super Nintendo and like the PlayStation versions and all that. Really is a great reimagining. Love it. Really took me back. Good game. LA Noire, a game that I had on the 360, but I actually never really got into because I had so many other games going through at the time. But LA Noire is a really good game. Rockstar always knocks it out of the park with basically everything they do. And this game is no exception to that. I love the style. If you know me, again, I love that 1950s look, the vibe, the music, and this game was just right up my alley. So much fun, another really good exploration game, and to be honest, this game utilizes the Switch touchscreen more than any game I've ever seen, believe it or not. You can actually, like, tap around on the screen and walk there and do your entire examinations and investigations through interacting with the environment by touching things, and you can pick up the bodies, drag them around, and look. Very interesting version, and no one ever is talking about this. Really good game. And that is it, guys. We got a few new games in the collection, we got some new opinions on some older games, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. So thanks for watching, thanks for taking the time out of your day for watching. Take care.